One of my viewers asked, how do you keep stuff from falling out of your milk crate unintentionally? Well, I've got the answer. Stay tuned. It's early January, and this is the time when you want to do projects like this. I know I've got all these reels over here that I got to put new line on. I got rods I have to repair, but I do want to share the easiest way to keep stuff from falling out of your milk crate, because everybody knows that the operative word is when, not if, your kayak is going to flip. Let's talk about the net briefly. Note that the mesh on this is small. You can get large mesh nets, and they obviously won't be effective in keeping small things from falling out of your milk crate. They'll go right through the layers of the mesh. Now this is the smallest one I could find, and I'll link it up down below, and it's perfect for a 12 by 12 milk crate. But I've got a supersized milk crate that's 16 by 14. So I've had to make a few modifications that may be useful on your regular sized milk crate as well. The first one is that the bungees on this particular net are pretty long, and I didn't want the hook to be all the way down here at the bottom, because I've got to stretch this sucker across a 14 by 16 milk crate. So I tied a couple knots on the long bungees, and now it's perfect. The second thing is, I want this thing to connect. Whoa, dropping pieces of reel. I want this thing to connect over the corners, but the corners on a typical milk crate are very smooth, and the cord, the bungee, is going to slip. So I took a small file and I made a little notch right there that I can fit the bungees into to keep them stretched from corner to corner to corner. I'm all hooked up right here, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of stretch on this thing to get over my supersized milk crate, but it keeps things in there when this thing turns over. However, there are some gaps, as you can see right here and in the front. Well, actually, this would be the front next to my seat. Now, this particular gap is kind of handy because you can easily get in and pull things out without having to disconnect everything. You can see that I took this piece of Velcro right here and I ran it through the mesh, and now the gap between the mesh and the back of my crate isn't as large. I still have the gap in the front, and again, if that bothered you, you could use Velcro to pull it a little bit tighter, or maybe the easier thing is you get a little bit bigger one of these mesh things, and then you don't have to worry about it. But this is the only one I could find that had this real tight mesh. One of the other things about this particular one is it actually has a pocket right here. So you could slide things in on the top and they would sit where you could reach around the side and get it. Unfortunately, the way the rectangle on this one is oriented, you can't have that oriented to the front on one of these supersized milk crates. But on a standard 12 by 12 milk crate, you could easily do that. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I'm ready to go fishing, but it's January. I've got to wait till March. I'm dying. Well, I've got reels to play with and rods to fix. Take care.